Good day everyone. I am Ahmad Fajri Prabowo, you can call me Fajri, student of SBM ITB, Jakarta campus, under the program of Business Leadership Blemba 36. Today I'm going to discuss about my best personal project leadership. This project is about the implementation of the newest regulation, one of the newest regulation from OJK, which is the Pedoman Pembiayaan Murabahah, that should be followed by the Sharia banks. The goal of this project is to comprehensively implement this regulation in the bank. By comprehensive, I mean that the implementation of this project should cover many aspects such as business policy, legal, system development, operational, and also the regulatory compliance. The time frame of the preparation of this project is between the second semester of 2024 until the end of 2025, with the potential piloting and implementation in 2026. There are several challenges in this project because this project combines the implementation of a regulation that might affect the financial revenue of the bank. So the challenges are coming from business, operation, system development, time management, and also the organization of the bank. And on top of that, the communication is also one of the hurdles that we have to face in this project. In this project, I work closely with my internal team from the financing business risk and also with cross-units team members from the business development team, IT development team, compliance team, legal team, and the operations development team, with the main key stakeholders of board of directors and board of management, and also the Sharia advisory board, customers, and sales team. This project is paramount for me because it sharpened my leadership skill because it involves a lot of stakeholders and working team for this one goal. And also, this should be strategically implemented due to its impact on the financial revenue of the bank. But this project is also important because it will define the bank's level of compliance to the Sharia regulation that's prevailing. And as a cherry on top, the system development works as the enablement of this implementation for the sales team on the field. As a leader of this project, I need to clarify my value that I carry to each involved members through actions on this project. So some of the traits that I value the most as the leaders are responsibility, communication, involvement, individualism, freedom, respect, and fairness. I embody those values into actions in this project. I spent more of my time in coordinating, managing by being involved, monitoring the progress, and also coordinating and communicating the result, the progress, and the hurdles that the team face. Nevertheless, oftentimes the team will face some kind of crisis. So in terms of solving those crises along the way, I took several approaches such as circle back coordination, and then top-down approach, bottom-up approach, and also taking the real and concrete actions. All of those values and actions would be useless if we don't share the same vision. That's why I state the vision statement for this project. In this bank, we work for the underprivileged customers. For the bank to operate well, we have to be compliant with the regulations that are prevailing. But at the same time, we need to protect the bank's profitability under any circumstances. Because of that, I believe that this team consists of the chosen ones that could be the strategic Sharia banker to implement this regulation without jeopardizing the potential profitability that the bank can make from their business. To make it more familiar with the team, there are like two kinds of metaphors that I can use to define this project. The first one is this project is like a scale, or in Indonesia we call it as timbangan, because we need to comply with the regulation in the other hand, and in the other side of this scale we need to also maintain the bank's ability to make profit from their business. The second metaphor that I use is like a maze, because this project starts as something that is very complicated. The team will try to solve one problem at a time to get this regulation intact and implemented in the bank. With that vision statement and metaphors, I hope that I can enlist the others, such as the BOD and Board of Management, whose motivators are profit and revenue. And for the compliance and legal team, whose motivations are the compliance to the prevailing regulations. And for the business development and business risk team, whose motivators are implementing the best strategy for the bank to make the best profit with the good compliance level to the regulations. With those people on board with the vision and the value and the actions that we agreed upon, I hope that we can challenge the limiting beliefs that I mentioned earlier. Things like this project is too complicated, this implementation will harm the bank's revenue, and that we cannot generate a good strategy, or we don't have enough time to implement the regulations. Those limiting assumptions can be challenged and solved by identifying the opportunity and the mitigation of each limiting assumption. For example, the limiting assumption of this project is too complicated. No, it is not. We just have to gather around with all of the related stakeholders, from the top management to the executor, to finally find out what the trickle-down activity that we have to perform under this project. Another example is the limiting beliefs of this project will harm the bank's revenue. Well, to some extent, yes, if we don't implement the proper strategy, by identifying and calculating the magnitude of the potential loss of profit from the implementation of this regulation, we can find the best way to tackle it. For whatever it takes, I believe that I can run this project because team members work together with me, and that's because I enable the people on my team to act. And since they have different expertise, I believe that they have different enablers. For example, one person might want to act if I give him the strategic role that he can use to grow himself. Another person might want to be assured that this project will go on time. The other person might want the backstory of the data that I request. So by identifying the different enablers of each team members, I can take them with me to finish this project. As I mentioned earlier, fairness and respect are two of the values I value the most in a project. To actualize those two values, I try to reward and recognize the team contribution in this project. To sum up, this project helps me to implement Kozes and Posner's principles of entrepreneurial leadership, such as model the way, inspire the shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart. And I hope the lesson that I get in this real life can inspire you to be a better leaders every day. Thank you and have a good day.